Hey guys, in today's video I wanted to share with you guys some things that stores, companies, in particular perfume and beauty companies, but probably all companies, things that they do to get us to spend more money to buy their products. And I'm gonna have like 5 parts of this video just because there's so much that goes into it. Today I'm going to talk about more like general things, but then I'll talk about what they do in store to get us to spend money and buy more things, and online, social media. Social media marketing is going to be a whole video. Number one thing that we should keep in mind is that these tactics or these types of things are done by marketing specialists, their marketing team, and it's important to keep in mind that these people are just doing their job and they went to school for this job. They went to school for it, they're passionate about it, and it's literally their job. So they're going to be good at it because they have degrees in this. This is their area of expertise. They're going to be good at it, and we don't stand a chance against that unless we are aware and knowledgeable about it, because our spending habits and us, we're competing against somebody who is an expert at this. That's literally their job, and it is not our job to be consumers, but it's going to be very hard for us to fight against it because we didn't go to school to fight against it the same way that they went to school to get us to spend it. I don't know if that makes any sense. What I'm saying is we also have to have tools. Like, we don't have an immune system for it, you know, like we don't have things set up in place to prevent us from falling for these things because we are not educated in their field. It's like you wouldn't go to court without a lawyer and stand up to a lawyer because you know you're going to get your butt whooped simply because they literally went to school for this. We have no idea what we're doing. It's just, we can't compete. So just keep that in mind, that it's a strategy that they're applying. So we gotta build up an immune system to it. We gotta have some tools to be able to fight against it. So number one is knowledge, being awareness of what they're doing so that we don't get pulled into it. So number one thing that they're doing is they're selling us a lifestyle, a status, this idea of what we want to be and what we should be. So for example, if I buy the newest release or the newest, nicest palette that came out, makeup palette or perfume, it's like, what does this say about me? Like, if an item is trending, and in a way this item, it has a status to it, you know, it's like, what does it say about me? If it's the trending thing, it means that because I have this, like, I'm cool, I'm hip. That means I'm old. There's probably different slang words for this now, but I'm old. You're like in with the cool kids now, you know, you're one of them. You've reached this status, and that's literally, they're selling us a status that we want and desire in some ways, whether these things are conscious or subconscious. So unfortunately I got cut off. So unfortunately, I got cut off the day that I was talking in the previous video, so I'm just gonna continue it now. It's like a week later. But back to what I was saying. The first point I was trying to make is that there's people whose job it is to make us spend money. There's people whose job is to get together and discuss how they will be manipulating us, marketing to us, how to sell their product and get our money. So if we have no type of shield or awareness of that, I think that it's more likely to work. You know, we don't have any defenses built up to it. So now let's get on to the rest of the points. So I think that one of the ways that we're marketed to is by selling us a lifestyle, selling us this ideal fantasy self, a version of us that we would want to be, that we want to emulate and be like, so we can feel like we're part of it, like we're one of the cool kids, like we're in with the crowd. The thing that we are purchasing or looking to purchase, it's like, it says something about us. It says something about our status in life, in the world, a symbol of our success or lack of success, if we don't have it. It's something that we are trying to reach and grasp, like a lifestyle. And a lot of times that appeals to like, I've earned this, I deserve this because I make this amount of money, or because I've reached this thing in my life, I should be able to now have this luxury item. Like we almost feel like we've earned that, and we're not seeing it for what it is, which is a marketing tactic, but it's a status. It's we've earned this. This is a lifestyle that I deserve. And that's like how we justify making these expenses. So they definitely market to us in that way. Like you see the people that have these certain items that they're selling, and they just have a certain lifestyle that may seem appealing to us, whether it be a luxury lifestyle or just a more minimalistic lifestyle. But that's actually already getting into my next point, which is an aesthetic that we want to achieve. It's similar to the status, but I think this is more of an aesthetic. Like, oh, am I a minimalistic girly? Then I should have this type of makeup or these types of items in my home. Am I a luxury girl? Then I should have these expensive products, and I should have these kinds of handbags and these kind of shoes because I'm a luxury girly. So like all the luxury girlies have this new Jacquemus bag, so I should have this Jacquemus bag or shoes or whatever it is that's trending. It's like, oh, if I am one of these luxury people, then I should also have this. You know, like the luxury brand is a little bit more like Tom Ford or Chanel or YSL and things like that. And if you are like a minimalistic person, you know, there's brands like Byredo and Glossier that really appeal to that minimalistic aesthetic that we are trying to achieve. And then there's like the flashy and bougie and extra, you know, like perfumes. Like, and I'm not saying these brands are like that, but I'm just saying like brands like Xerjoff and things like that that are just like flashy and like, is it flashy? I just mean more like bougie and elegant and like top tier and just niche, and nobody else has this because it's a niche brand. It's not mainstream. And that's when a lot of niche comes into play, where it's appealing to us because of the high price tag, and also it's just not mainstream. It's not common. When you smell like these perfumes or when you have some of these brands, they're unattainable to the rest of the people, but not to you. So therefore you feel like you're extra and you're being bougie and expensive, and nobody's gonna smell like you. Or if you're just a girly girl and just this feminine vibe, then there's brands like Parfum de Marly, Too Faced, and all this girly and bows and packaging. So they could sell to any aesthetic. They can sell to you whatever type of look or aesthetic you're trying to achieve. There's a brand for you, marketed specifically for you. And then there's this sense of novelty where you don't want to have the old things, like shoes that were popular a year ago or now gone and out of style. All these even makeup brands that were just blew up and now they're kind of falling off. Even brands like Glossier, all those old school brands like Glossier, Too Faced, Anastasia, these are all now old school brands. Now you got the new stuff, and it's very apparent when you have the old stuff. And this is another way that they get us to spend more money, because sometimes it's just the same crap, just repackaged. You know, when you look at those Good Girl perfume bottles, they have all these new colors and polka dots and this color and this color, and it's literally the same perfume, just a new bottle. And a lot of us are gonna buy it. We're gonna buy it because it's the new one. It's the novelty of it more than it is the product inside it. So they're definitely appealing to us by that way. Even like Chanel made these limited edition boxes for their perfumes, and people were buying them, and they were very exclusive and like limited edition. And it was just the box. Like they just redid the box that went inside the box. I don't know how to explain it, but like it was this like exclusivity, this newness, and it's the same Chanel perfumes that we already have, or some of us already have. It's just the limited edition novelty of it more than it is the item. And when you have the older version of it, sometimes it's very apparent, and I feel like they do this on purpose. Like I think the Dyson blow dryer that everybody has, it costs like $600. I think it used to be like a pink and metallic color. It's a pink and like a charcoal color, and I think now they switched to blue. So now when you have this pink one, everybody's gonna know yours is gonna be like 2-3 years old. I feel like now everybody wants the new version of it, and the old one, even though it may work just as good, it's now outdated, and it looks outdated. If you're posting or if you're sharing it on social media, part of you knows that you have the old version, the older one. Like sometimes even with packaging, there's just like, oh, this is the old version of it and the new one is like this. And perfume is one where sometimes having the older version is better, but in most other cases, in fashion and makeup and almost any trends, it's everybody knows you have the old one, and it's kind of like embarrassing. Like, I have this really old thing, and it may not actually be old, and old doesn't mean bad, but they're selling us this novelty, the new one. Things are always changing. Last year it may have been chunky shoes, and now we're gonna go to super slim ballet flats, because it just always has to be different and new, and you cannot wear your clothes from last year because it's now outdated, and everybody's gonna know that you're completely out of style for no reason. Just the fact that they decided that there's now new stuff, and now the new stuff is cool and the old stuff is not. So there's just always this constant cycle of change and constant new releases. One of the other biggest tactics that I see is this limited edition, limited quantities, scarcity type of thing that they do. I'm sure you guys know this one. This used to happen a lot also in makeup, where they would sell out of things. They only buy a certain amount of products so they can sell out, and then they're not actually limited edition. They'll come right back with an even bigger inventory. They come back within a few weeks, which you know production doesn't take that little bit. Like, production takes a lot longer. This was all strategically planned to create that scarcity, that it was to drive up demand. It was to get like the attention of like, oh my gosh, this product completely sold out, you can't get it anywhere. It just kind of gets you, it sucks you in. You're like, well, now I really want this because it's so desirable that it's constantly selling out everywhere. You can't get it anywhere. So when it does come back in stock, or when you do see it, you're gonna snag that right up, because what if you wanted it and this might be your last chance to get it before it sells out again? And that just really goes, like, that really appeals. I feel like that really hooks us in, you know? Like, the less accessible it is, like the harder it is to chase and acquire, I feel like the bigger satisfaction it is for us to be able to be one of the people that acquired it, or even one of the people that acquired it while other people don't have it. It just makes you feel kind of special. And that is definitely a marketing tactic. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to be manipulated that way. I don't want to be treated like that. I feel like it's like, it almost makes me feel like if we're like monkeys in an experiment and they like do something with the banana, and now we're gonna go wild for that banana because we are the experiment. We are who they're discussing in their meetings. Like, we are the consumers that they're discussing. Like, how do we manipulate these people out of their money, even though we're not offering anything actually new? Like, how do we still get them to buy it, even though we're not offering anything special or new? And instead of coming up with innovative ideas and things to sell, they're really just trying to repackage and rebrand the same crap. And it's not always crap, but it's the tactic behind it and behind these manipulative selling strategies that I don't want to be part of. Like, I don't want to be the dummy that is chasing these things only because they decided that. I want to be able to make that decision on my own. I don't want to be manipulated out of my money. And after I filmed the first part of this and I already had my notes, I recently saw that Kimberly Clark came back to YouTube. She is the queen of no buys, the queen of anti-consumerism, the queen of just awareness when it comes to capitalism and how it works and all of these things. And she recently started posting about this, and I'm so excited because I feel like she just gets it. She is the queen, the original de-influencer. She says that in her video. She just posted like a couple days ago, and she gets way more in depth, and she's gonna really break down how to stop shopping. So I highly suggest that you go check her out. She's a gorgeous drag queen with, I don't know, like, her mind and the way she can articulate things is immaculate. And I mean like immaculate. Like, you watch her videos and it feels like you're watching a documentary. She speaks so eloquently that sometimes I have to rewatch her videos to just be able to grasp everything she said. Everything sounds like an essay, like a TED Talk. She's very impressive, so you guys really have to check her out if you want to dive way deeper, because she also talks about a lot of other issues, and she can somehow put all these issues like into like a bigger picture. And I'm more zoomed in into like my own personal shopping addiction, she definitely kind of goes into like the bigger problem in our world right now with capitalism, consumerism, and things like that. She gets into like the bigger problem, but also the nitty-gritty. So I don't know, she's a very talented writer, content creator, so you guys definitely have to check her out. I will link her video down below, but I will also be linking a bunch of other good resources and other good YouTubers that I believe have definitely something to add to the conversation. I've been watching a lot of this content of no buys, but I've also been watching like my regular stuff, so it's very, I'm just having a lot of like, I'm having a lot of like internal struggle right now. A lot of things are coming up, you know, because I'm still watching the people that are selling to me, and I'm watching the people that are telling me not to buy. So like I'm kind of conflicted right now. Like my regular usual buy mentality is there, but also like the no, don't buy that. So I'm having all these internal struggles, but it's good. This is good. This is progress in my opinion, because like I told you guys before, my problem isn't perfumes, it isn't makeup, it isn't anything. My problem is my spending habits, it's my issues. So I don't know why I'm telling you guys all this. I don't know how that's relevant. I guess it's kind of relevant. So that's what I'm working on, is my personal stuff. So I'm gonna just kind of attack it from all the ways. So I'm just kind of trying to come at that personal struggle from different ways, from an anti-consumerism point of view, from a habit point of view, from a financial point of view, from a like a personal struggle, therapeutic, personal issues kind of view. I'm really just trying to cover all my bases so I can get to the root of the problem. And I'm going to continue to post videos about this. I have a part 2 to this video of other tactics that they use to get us to spend money. So step 1 of Kimberly Clark's videos, she has like a 5-series video coming up, is to identify selling. So identify when you're being sold to, how you're being marketed to, and it's freaking genius, because that's literally what I was trying to do with this video as well, is how to identify. But she coined that, she named that correctly, which is identify when you're being sold to. And that's what I think we should be doing at the moment. That's one of the things I'm doing, is I'm trying to identify what the ads and the YouTubers are trying to tell me, like in what ways, or what thing are they appealing to, like these things that I mentioned. So that's also going to be your homework, is to identify how you're being marketed to, how they're trying to appeal to you. If you can realize that, like if you can catch that, like, oh, are they creating a need that I didn't have? Oh, are they telling me this is the newest and the best and the greatest thing now? Or are they selling me just something that's new but not even improved? Just to identify what we're being sold to. So she said that's her step 1. That's definitely a great, I feel like I'm not making any sense. This always happens to me. I make no sense. I'm just talking in circles here. I'm definitely following Kimberly Clark's advice, and I'm just going to continue to identify how I'm being marketed and sold to. Because, you know, when you think about it, you wouldn't consciously, like, I will avoid a car dealership as much as I can, because I don't want to feel attacked by some of this kind of salespeople that car dealerships have. So I would never go to a car dealership with the intention of buying a car and not mentally prepared. Like, I would go in there prepared. I would know what I wanted. I wouldn't just like go in there randomly so I can be like attacked with this sales tactics. I would definitely try to have a game plan. And I feel like when we're watching these ads and watching these influencers sell to us, we're not mentally prepared to be sold to. So I think that makes us way more vulnerable. I don't know if that makes sense, but I don't want to be vulnerable to these ads, because I don't want my money to just dissolve into items that are sitting in my house. So that's my advice, is to start paying attention how we're being marketed to. Even if we're still gonna fall for it at first, let's just start to pay attention on how we're being marketed to, just so we know, oh, we're in this room with a salesman, you know, so we can become aware that we're actually at a car dealership Except the car dealership is on our phone, on social media. That's where the salesmen are. Salesmans? What? So anyways, I'm gonna just let you guys go because I don't know how I'm gonna piece this video together yet. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for your interest in this type of content. It means the world to me that you guys are following along with me and just the feedback that I've been getting. Thank you guys. I will talk to you guys in my next video coming soon. Bye. Should I leave my glasses on to look smart?